no. I don't know if I like the sound of this, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. We gotta try to figure out what the heck Capital Games is trying to say here. If they're doing what I'm thinking they're doing, I hope they know that I'm thinking to tell them, don't do it. It looks like they're coming for a round 2 with Darth Bane. They already took kind of a big part of his kit away from the original kit. He's still great as is, even with that part omitted from the kit reveal. However, Capital Games is saying that he might be a little too good. And this has a myriad of concerns. Come on over, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk a lot about this Darth Bane thing. This was coming late last night, where the developers had some thoughts to share on Darth Bane, which is, it's a very weirdly worded post. Darth Bane developer thoughts, like, you know, I don't know. It's I already got a couple issues we're gonna kind of bring up here, but I'm gonna show you some numbers here in a bit. Darth Bane has been phenomenal in his first Grand Arena, and there really wasn't a datacron to even make him have a severe bias in his performance. He's been amazing. I think he's been a fan favorite in our community. Mini galactic ledge is what I've called him. Biggest takeaway though is you don't really want to use him with Sith Eternal. It's an absolute waste. So we're gonna read what they have here. Hello, Holotable heroes. With the release of Darth Bane, it's a very contradictory post in my opinion. We have been very pleased with Darth Bane with how they've landed on the Holotable. Tuscan Meathead has been sending us screenshots of all your quotes. While much of his data is favorable and is landing where we expected, we are seeing some outliers we're going to keep an eye on that may be contradictory to some of his intentions. So you're happy with where he is, but there's something going on you don't like. And that could mean, I want to know what these outliers are. They're not being explicit. Anyways, I digress. Let's continue. The team is keeping an eye on this for balance purposes, and if we feel the integrity of the game requires us to intervene, we will. Again, we are very happy with Darth Bane. We just want to let you know our thoughts. This is a funny post. You can tell they're walking on eggshells here. And I don't know if they're really, this is as clear as mud, in my opinion here. So they're happy with him, but they're not happy with some stuff that he's doing, is basically what I'm getting at. Now, of course, there's no plan if they are actually going to do something, but it's a weird post to put it out there that, hey, this is on our radar. We're not sure how we feel about these outliers, which we don't know what these outliers are. I can speculate. We're going to look into some data here in a moment. Boy, it's just, do you guys test your game? You know, I'm just, you know, like, this is going to be a massive buzzkill with an amazing character who will push hard. They invested hard in Conquest. You know, they maybe spent money. And now you're doing all these changes. It's not a good look. It feels bad. The respect for the investment. If you do something, if you feel that it's going to harm the integrity of the game, you know what, they say that. This is the funniest part. They say that. Watch, they're going to probably take something off his kit and throw it in a datacron. How much you want to bet? Because they want to monetize the craziness he has. And I'm already a little upset about this because, as you know, we already have this little debacle here where they're removing the part of his unique ability. These effects persist if Bane is defeated. And what that is in reference to is this unique ability. Now, remember, we read the kit reveal. They likely developed Bane for a year and a half before we got the kit reveal. And then he was sitting in the game for about 3 months until we unlocked him. They saw the community reception, feedback, what the kit expectations were. And conveniently, after he's unlocked and we, you know, spend money, you worked hard in Conquest, whatever the case might be, you bought the Conquest passes, then all of a sudden they're like, actually, no, we're taking this clause out. Remember, the Omicron, and we had this expectation that when he dies off, he's going to keep these effects, because these effects persist if Bane is defeated. Again, we're not going to bring this whole story up, but most would agree this was a nerf to the original kit. The Bane we got was not the Bane that we originally sought after and expected off the kit reel, because again, this Omicron makes absolutely no sense. Even though the developers are trying to defend this as this Omicron was only supposed to apply to these, which makes absolutely no sense. Because first of all, to get the rule of 2, you only can have one other Sith, and there are no resurrecting Sith in the game. So again, the expectation was this is going to keep all of these abilities, effects, alive when Bane is defeated, aka making Sith Eternal supercharged, because he was supposed to replace Wat Tambor. But if he dies, he's no longer a good Wat Tambor. And this is why the main point, and again, it's not the end of the world, because he's still amazing, as we're going to see, but he's not really being a good Sith Eternal lift. I mean, he's good at Sith Eternal, but he's much better off by himself, which is maybe what CG's not too happy about. So I'm still a bit upset about this. In my opinion, it's not the kit we were told and sold. They changed it, and they think they took what was a bug and turned it into a feature. And don't even get me started about another thing, which we'll bring up here in a moment. So, I mean, we're looking at some data here. I gotta say, I mean, maybe except maybe some Galactic Legends in their initial release, I haven't seen this amazing of like a first Grand Arena appearance performance out of a character in so long. In the entire game, out of the 30,000 battles Bane took part in, his first and only 5v5 experience, only 2 weeks of Grand Arena, give or take, he is across the board beating 87% of the stuff thrown at him. And these aren't like chump change teams. We're talking about taking on Ariva, Lord Vaders. We're taking on things like Dark Trooper Gideon. We're taking on Galactic Legend True. That's my joke. It's obviously Datacron True. Things like Darth Malgus. We're going to look at some Galactic Legend specific things, but I've been able to beat Leia consistently. I was able to beat Rey with Darth Bane, which is pretty nuts. The only non-Galactic Legends team I see Bane struggle is maybe with the Seer Junda team. However, I think it's because he's still not working correctly, and if they would fix him, which would be like a massive buff to him, he's gonna be even better. So realistically, aside from maybe Leia and Malicos, this guy has been absolutely killing. It's an amazing character that has been added to the game, and I'm a bit worried about what they have plans with this character moving forward. What are they not happy with? Here we go. We got some Star Killer stuff, Nightsis. I mean, it's just, again, these are amazing teams that he's going up against, and across the board, 87% success is amazing. I mean, if I took off Galactic Legends, he's at about 92%. Again, pretty insane that across the board he's winning 92% of the time, and who knows what those outliers might be. But let's take a look at some of the Galactic Legends stuff. And this is maybe what Capital Games is not happy about. Against all the Galactic Legend battles Darth Bane took a part of, he was beating 80% of them. That's about 13,000 of the battles. It's pretty high banner averages. Again, this character amazing across the board. There really isn't a lot to complain about, how except how they released the character, taking away unique abilities, and his buff dispel still being bugged. And now they're saying, we're not too sure if we 100% like what he's doing. But, so here we go. We got Leia, 62%. Now, I've taken on Leia twice, won very consistently, very well, maybe because I have a high Relic Bane and a high Relic Sith Assassin, and this might be what CG's bothered with. Darth Bane with some random Sith Assassin, nothing expensive here, taking on full Galactic Legend teams for some serious banners. I mean, Lord Vader, basically a guaranteed win. Pretty crazy right there. I mean, not too surprising, but mildly surprising. I mean, if we take a look at some other Galactic Legends, by no means is he like perfect against all of them, but let's take a look at Rey. I did take out a Rey. It was a little bit dicier, but I definitely managed to work. But again, I had a higher Relic Bane than maybe most, so it was fine. We take a look at Jabba, and again, this is only with Darth Bane lead, no Sith Eternal. Darth Bane and Sith Eternal looks like they beat everything in the game in terms of Galactic Legend space. Jabba is not really a good part for Bane to take down. We have things, for example, from Kylo Ren. He's doing fairly well. 88% is what we have locked in there. Master Kenobi, not looking great. It's kind of tough. A lot of foresight, which again doesn't work with his bug buff, the spell, and the instant kill could be a problem if they decide to nuke him out. Then we have things like Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, where pretty good, 78%, so almost 80% is the win rate that he's got going on there. Then of course you got things like Sith Eternal, where he's he's doing better than a Galactic Legend Sith inside the game. So the only thing I can imagine is they might not be happy with the fact that Bane, without needing Sith Eternal, I'm sure they may be okay with Bane and Sith Eternal beating everything like that. I can understand from their perspective is reasonable, but they might not be happy that Bane doesn't need Sith Eternal, even though that's probably one of his design points. Throw in a Sith Assassin, a Dooku, whatever you have in your Sith arsenal, you're taking down top talent. So they're not telling us what these outliers are, but again, I have to imagine it's gotta be these Galactic Legends where he's being able to beat Leia. In my experience, I know the numbers aren't as great as my personal experience, but my personal experience at a high level, I've been able to beat Leia fairly consistently. As long as you time out the buff this spell, it seems like a no-brainer win, in my opinion. So Capital Games, I don't know what you're up to, and I even looked at some of the initial community response to all this here. Let's go take a look at all this that we got going on right here. Yeah, CG trying to hit the target. These were not the thoughts we were looking for. Like everything else. Yeah, here we go. We didn't test Bane at all. And then, yeah, exactly what I said. Clear as mud. We're happy with Bane, but we're monitoring some outliers. Not only does it essentially contradict itself, they didn't give us any kind of hint at what the outliers are they're looking at, because maybe we can make the win rates worse so they don't touch him. So we have no idea what kind of changes might or might not be coming. I was thinking about throwing another Omi on and maybe another Relic level on Bane, but now I won't do it, in case he gets nerfed. And this is the problem. We don't know. And I'm going to leave a little bit of hope at the end. We've been told many times that they're looking at this thing, but this post came across a little bit differently. Like, we have thoughts on Darth Bane that we want to share. Different than investigating TIE Defender, different than maybe investigating the Night Sisters, but still, nonetheless, there might be hope that it's gonna be okay. Hard to say. Yeah, Nerf is definitely on the table, and it shouldn't come with a surprise. I argue that Bane, and here you go. Yeah, we'd argue that Bane is in fact bad for game balance. You know, he's not a galactic legend, and he's beating a lot of galactic legends. I mean, I think my biggest issue is test out your characters before you release them, so you kind of get that balance right. I mean, it was very evident. It's not that hard to just put Bane and another Sith up against Leia, Lord Vader, and all these other teams and say, oh wow. It's like, I almost feel like I can just put a blindfold on and like find this out myself, Bane, and just fight these random teams and we win. It's like, it's not like we're noticing anything that's like super, like, you know, secretive and hard, like no one could have thought of it. It's like, take your Bane, go up against the galactic legends. There's only 8 of them, not too hard to test against all of them. So that's my biggest thing. Like, fine, maybe he's overtuned, but do it beforehand. Don't do it after people got excited, hyped, spent money, especially they spent the time in the game to get up and running, and now you're going to say, you know, we're not too happy about it. Yeah. The team is keeping an eye on balance purposes, and if we feel the other, buy 8 million Datacron packs up to the game balance of all your opponents. Yeah, it's I'm not sure. Yeah, no, CG, whatever you're thinking about doing, no, stop. Well, CG, while you have thoughts on Bane, I just want to put this thought on your radar one more time. This guy still isn't working correctly, and here's the problem. Are they in a rush to do this? Even though he's already got like an 92% win rate in the game against all the stuff he's fought, this would only make it better. Like, this could probably fix his viability up against Seer Junda. So this right here, Malevolent Whirlwind, they said it themselves what it does, and it doesn't work like this. I hope to goodness they don't come back with a post like this, like, oh no, you guys just misunderstood. We're gonna remove that clause. I'm like, no, you explained this explicitly. You get 2 dispels, dispel, total damage bonus, deal damage. And it doesn't do anything except just 1 round of it against things with foresight. So here in my initial review of Bane, I brought this up, and I brought it up many times on live stream as well when I tested it myself. As you can see here, you know, so there was foresight at the very beginning, dodged, like all across the board. Just, Gary, drop me down for a second. Literally dodge all across boards. Let's go back one more time. So this isn't working well. So while you're sitting there debating if you need to nerf Bane in some capacity, can you at least fix this again? There is a ton of foresight here. Let's see if we can maybe go back a little bit more. Yeah. There we go. Back it up a little bit more. Yeah, so foresight 1, 2, 3, 4 foresights. Now the way this read, literally how they broke it down too. Dispel, total damage, yada. So this should clear the foresight, clear whatever's under the foresight, do the bonus damage based off the buffs dispelled, and then do additional damage 2 times. It does not do that. It does not do that at all. We get in here, Bane's gonna do his thing, all dodged, 0 damage at anyone with foresight. It did get the 2 rounds of buff dispels in there though, so it did get the foresight. It did get the buffs hiding under the foresight, but it didn't do any damage, and that is not how the ability reads. Now, I guess the good news is they haven't made an excuse post like this, so, you know, maybe they'll fix it. I don't know, guys. It's just, they had a home run thing here, something really good, and obviously they didn't really test them. Like, oh shoot, we threw this juggernaut of a character in the game, and now he's doing too good, and everyone's getting excited. Maybe people are spending more money than usual to get through Conquest or whatever to upgrade him and all this stuff. Maybe they're upgrading a couple of stupid leftover Sith, like maybe Sith Assassin, and now they're like, hey, we like him, but we're not 100% on board with him. So I don't know, people. There's no war on Darth Bane explicitly yet with next steps, but it's on their radar. It's pinging on their radar. Boop, boop, boop. So I'll keep you guys up to date on it. It's hard to tell you guys to invest in it. If they do truly do something at the end of the day, Capital Games, fix your game, test out your characters. They're even turning off my stuff here. Anyways, people, we're gonna wrap it up right there. Man, oh man, I love Darth Bane. I think he's a fun character, breath of fresh air, and something that got the community really excited. And I really hate this philosophy where it's a conquest character. It's not like a marquee where it comes out 2 days later and then we see everything. They saw our opinion months in advance. And they tested a character, or I would presume they had an opportunity to test character multiple months before he was even announced. and this is what happens. Anyways, we'll find out. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they don't mess up Darth Bane, or maybe, you know, if you got an opinion, if you believe, you know, he maybe should get nerfed, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, I kind of get it, but do it before you release him, not after. Get ready for the data crown, though. They're gonna take something out, put a data crown. Anyways, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember that Darth Bane is great today.